Hi, ME228. This video is going to look at this kind of pseudo guide block. Let's see if I can see my pen a little bit better. This is similar to your third homework problem on homework 1 for spring 2019. So we're going to go through this. I'm going to talk to you about my logic, kind of what I'm thinking. Okay, so I see this part. Here's my isometric view of it. I've got my dimensions on the ortho view here. And I'm trying to think, okay, how do I want to go about? What are my, basic shapes that I want to do? And I want to do this efficiently. I don't want to do it in a whole bunch of steps. So what I'm thinking is that I'll start with a sketch of this front face here, including this little box cutout, extrude it out for its depth, what is that, 2 inches, and then I'll come back and just make this inside cut. So basically I'll do it with 2 sketches and then 1 extrude and 1 cut is what I'm thinking. So going over to SolidWorks, I can get this situated. All right, so I'm going to start my sketch. I need a new sketch. Renew part. Okay. Sketch, sketch. And I'm going to choose that front plane. So I'm basically doing this shape here. So I'm going to start with my line tool. I'm going to start at the origin. Ooh, let's make sure my units are right. They weren't. I wanted inches. All right. So starting with my line, I'm going to come out, goes up a little, and then kind of at an angle. And then for this square, I'm going to use my rectangle tool. I have lots of choices here. I could do a center corner. In this case, we're just going to stick with corner. And I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not adding relations I don't mean to. Okay, so I've got the basic shape, so I'm ready to start dimensioning. And I want to make sure that I have the dimensions that the sketch has or the sketch implies, because I want my sketch to be fully defined. So right now it's underdefined, and I want it to be fully defined. So I'm going to start with this dimension here. It's 4.5. And then so it goes up 2. Okay, so the next thing is, I don't know how long this is, but what I do know is the angle here. So when I'm trying to do an angle dimension, I'm just going to click the 2 lines that I want to be defined, and then I've got a choice. I can do this angle, or pull it out, and that's the angle that I'm shown on the drawing. So we're going to go there. All right, so now the outline is fully defined. I know that because one, well, the way I can tell in this situation is that the lines are black. So they've gone from these green, which are underdefined, and then black. So now I'm going to come in and dimension this, and it is a square. It's a 0.5 by 0.5. Okay, so if I try to dimension this here, it's going to tell me that it's over-defined. So make dimension driven. And so essentially what it's asking is, will this just mirror that other dimension? So why is it still underdefined? Well, it's because it doesn't have any relation to the origin. So I've defined its size appropriately, but I've still got to say, okay, it's X far away from the origin. So in this case, it looks like it would be 1.5 away from the origin, and then 0.5 away from the origin. So let's go ahead and do that. And so I've got everything fully defined. It says so right here on my sketch, plus I can see that all my lines are green. So now I'm going to go ahead and extrude this 2 inches. So I can flip the direction. I'm going to do a blind because I'm going to tell it how far. And you can see that it's automatically selected to leave that hole blank. SolidWorks, or empty, SolidWorks does a pretty good job of choosing, but it's not always perfect. So if it selected that square where it was like filling it and you wanted to change that, you can always bring that selected contours button down, and then you can go in and select the features that you want to be extruded, essentially. Okay, let's come back here. I've got that basic drawing, but I'm missing this cut in the middle. And so I'm looking at my dimensions, and I can see that it's 0.4, 0.4, and then it like goes down. And this depth here is 0.4. So coming into my box, I'm going to start another sketch. So going to my sketch tab, sketch, and I'm going to select this face. I'm going to draw my box on this face. And again, I'm going to use my a rectangle tool. You could do it with lines, but the rectangle just seems a little bit faster. So it's hard when you're sketching like this, sometimes it's hard to see. So if you'll right click on the sketch and do normal to, it'll bring the sketch into view a little bit better. All right, so I've got my shape, so now I'm going to start dimensioning. I know that this overall is 1.2, and then from this here is going to be 0.4. All right, so that means I've got it centered. So I'm going to give this a length now, which will be 4.1, and then a distance. Great. So I can see that the sketch fully defined. I can tell 2 ways. 1, it tells me here. 2, all my lines have turned black. So I can see this sketch now in space. And I'm going to do an extruded cut. I'm going to go over to my features tab, extruded cut. Right now it's going all the way through the part. That's what it took a guess at. I know that I only want it to cut down 1.6. It's possible that it would have guessed the wrong direction. So if you'll click the little arrow on reverse direction, you can change the direction. I'm going to hit my green check mark, and I'm done. That's it for this video. Keep watching the YouTube channel for upcoming videos. Things that will apply to homework and exams will be posted here. I'm going to try to do a new part each week. Thanks.